Hi ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's Owamie, aka Miss Focal, bring back for boldly Owamie. I almost said entertainment. I'm so used to my main channel's intro, but welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, please make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell so that you do not miss any upload from me. Now my ninjas, today we're going to go ahead and talk, or basically this is a story time. I know I promised you guys like from a long time ago that I'm going to give you guys this story time, and yes, as I said, this week is gonna be story time galore, so be ready, prepare your data, okay? So basically my ninjas, I know that we do have new people that do not know me, that do not know where my story starts. Now I obviously don't want to bore the ninjas that already know, but I also don't want it to be that, you know, you're just coming into someone's channel, you don't know what has been going on, because a lot has gone down. So I'm gonna try and basically just summarize a little bit so that, you know, those that do not know the story of what happened can basically understand. Obviously when we get to the family meeting of doom, like when I tell you I was embarrassed, okay? So basically my new ninjas, I was married. I got married to this man that I loved very, very much. I had moved. I was actually in Free State, and the part of Free State that I was in is like the deserts of the like, it's not really a desert, it's just like, it's farms. Yeah, it's like farm, okay? If I had to describe that place, it would be like jumping into a time space and actually, like, you know, what do they call this, a time ship or whatever, time capsule, and then actually jumping back to like 1995 or something like that. And I know some of you think I'm just throwing shade. Honestly, I am not. They still use blom pots that side. Like, it's just not what I was actually used to. So it was a huge adjustment for me and a huge sacrifice to actually be that side. So I moved that side, you guys, with my ex. I was honestly legit super in love with this man, and you know, obviously we were staying good, everything was fine. We did have problems with his immediate family, like his mother, his father's brother. So we didn't talk to them for almost 3 years, you know, like we basically just moved out. They kicked us out anyway, moved out, and we got our own place, you know, built and worked our way up. You know, obviously we're not up with, I don't know how many people would actually say I'm up, but a lot better from where we were. Mugai gets a job, because when we went to Free State he was not even working, and I guess Mugai just decided, you know, he started to feel Mr. You wanna bamba, you wanna chill with the big boys, and he decided he's going to start cheating now. He don't cheated on the wrong one, Chibobo. I am not the one. So basically you guys, like when that had happened, so the cheating, basically when I found out, the first time I actually found out was over the phone. And you know, obviously he deleted everything on the phone, cleaned the whole phone. Like I've done a story time about like actually shouting, like on not necessarily shouting, but us fighting over the phone. But he's someone that's big, and we're gonna call him Mr. B, but it was not like, you know, obviously I couldn't get it. So I'm gonna try my best and basically just link the playlist of the story times from last year. You can go and catch up. So yeah, so basically you guys, what had happened was that I found out the first time, and I didn't even talk to anyone. It was the same time. I didn't talk to anyone, and you know, I kicked him out of my bedroom. We were honestly just having problems, and I did not tell my family, I did not tell his family. I was just crying, you know, in my bedroom, child. I felt like dying, okay? Like I honestly just could not believe that that was actually happening. And then after that, so basically I decided, you guys, I was like, I know he deleted, and I was so curious like of what's going on. And he had said that it was Facebook and everything at that time, and so I was like, no man, but I know this person's password for Facebook, because remember, for many years this was a faithful man, so he didn't really have anything to hide. I used to have passwords of everything that is his, and he used to have passwords of everything that I have. And the reason for that was because he was the one that decided to take my password and make it his own. So me logging into my ex-husband's phone or entering his phone was the same way as I enter mine. The password was the same, and also like Facebook and all these other social media platforms. So at that point, there were honestly like no secrets between us, or so I thought, right? So basically, you guys, I decide, no man, let me just go ahead and log in, let me see exactly what is going on here, because I was honestly just curious. So I'd say maybe that was about 4 days after I found out the first time, and he deleted, so I really didn't say anything. And he told me that his ex, because the time him and I broke up in 2014, he did get someone, so he claimed that was the girl, sent him nudes. And so so I was like, I want to see that, like I want to see, but he deleted everything, and then he started apologizing, obviously a liar and a cheat, okay? And so basically, you guys, when I logged into his Facebook, I just came across his chat, like he was chatting with someone that is a lot younger than us, him and I. And in that chat, you guys, like they were basically talking about when they were going to meet. I don't remember the date they were supposed to meet was the Friday, so I cannot remember if I actually got to log in on a Wednesday, I think, if I'm not too mistaken, but I do remember that they were supposed to meet on a Friday, okay, in those chats as they were talking. And then basically as they were basically chatting like that, he was telling her that she should remember that he does not want to use protection. He trusts her and he trusts himself. And guys, when I tell you that, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is it, Shem, I am done. Like, you have got to be kidding me. Especially because I looked at the profile of this child, and I'm like, and when I say child, yes, it's someone that is, I think 18, or about a teenager though. But I was like, guys, I was honestly just so shocked at that point. I was like, it was honestly shocking for me, okay? But at the same time, I feel like because that week we had been having problems, it just definitely confirmed. And the first thing for me was like, I am out. I love me more, okay? So I basically got into my car. I actually went out to the living room, and then because what he was doing was that he would chat and delete. So he would send a message, delete. She would reply, he deletes. He was making sure that the whole conversation from his side is deleted. Now the damn thing that he forgot to actually like think of is the fact that that person that he's talking to clearly has all those chats, weird. So basically what I did was that I went to him and I was like, are you talking to someone? And he was like, no, I'm not talking to anyone. I was like, are you proposing someone right now? He's like, no, I'm not. I was like, no, I want us to actually sit down and talk about this. You need to be truthful. If you are honest, then we can maybe sort things out. But if you lie to me, then there's no chance of us actually resolving this. He was like, no, there's no one I'm talking to. Now I'm looking at this boy, and I'm like, you is lying to me, boo, because I was just seeing those conversations happening right now. And then I then like said her name. He was like shocked. And then I was like, are you not planning to meet her on Friday? Are you not planning on going there and sleeping with her without protection? She sent me the screenshots of what you guys were saying. So basically, you guys, like, I was like, Bona, if they have to fight, they will fight. But at this point, I cannot give away that I still remember, and I'm logging into his Facebook password because, guys, I was in so much pain. And as much as seeing those chats of him with different girls would actually hurt, but somehow they were also like bringing me sort of like some clarity and some, I don't know if I should call it like, it's like, RIP to this marriage. So basically what I actually did was that, you guys, after obviously I confronted him with that and claimed that she actually like sent me a message. I told him that when I come back, you have to have packed all your stuff because you're definitely leaving. Make plans of where you're going to go. I got into my car. That was we only had one car at that time, so that was still in April. So I went to his aunt, and when I got to his aunt, I basically just asked to speak to his aunt, and I told her like what had been going on, that the first time this happened, that happened. husband. And his aunt was honestly very much disappointed. She was like, this is unlike him. I've never known him to be someone that was into girls and stuff like that. Like, his aunt was really honestly disappointed, because she actually, I feel like out of the whole family, she was at least, the better one. Like, it's just a horrible family. So I was like, okay, after I spoke to her, I told her that, I think this is too much for me. I don't think I can be able to do this. So basically, I'm going to call off this marriage. We're gonna get a divorce. And she obviously was like, situations like this, we need to sit down and obviously talk about it. I don't know why he's doing this and all that. But I feel like there was nothing that anyone could actually say to me that was going to actually take away or even ease the pain that I was actually feeling. Mind you guys, I'd been devoted to this man throughout my whole 20s. I had men that even had money that came to me, and I basically chose love, Oh my gosh. So all that is starting to come to me, like all the sacrifices I've had to make, everything that I've had to give up just basically to be with this man. It was such an insult for me, It was such an insult for me, I won't lie. The pain was honestly unbearable. So I remember that was the day I actually called my aunt and I told her. And my aunt was like, you know what, Mtanami, like, that's how it is in marriage. You need to actually find a way to sort things out. She honestly really wanted me to work things out. She was like, you guys have a beautiful family, which we used to. And, you shouldn't let things like this destroy your family. He's saying he's sorry. And then I asked her, I was like, so if I was the one that was also going to cheat, she was like, then you also ask for your own apology. I was like, honestly, like, guys, I was just crying. Okay, so I get home. When I get home, guy has packed and he's going to his uncle's place. So basically, you guys, there's the uncle and the uncle's wife. At that time, the uncle was in the hospital, but the uncle's wife was actually at home, who is Malume Kazi, right? They've both unfortunately passed away, so may the Lord, rest their peace, their souls, and so basically he decided that I was going to go there. He said he spoke to her. I said, that's fine. The way I still even cared about this guy, you guys, like, I drove him literally to her so that he doesn't have to walk, because we only had one car. So, he packed his stuff, put in the car, and then after that I drove him there. When I drove him there, his uncle Malume Kazi was actually not in the house. So I dropped him off, I got in the car, I came back home. When I came back home, you guys, I was alone. Now you need to understand that, like, I moved to freaking Free State, that side of Free State, for this man. Now I'm left in the house by myself. Everything is just starting to come to me. Like, guys, when I tell you that I'm a very strong woman, and the divorce actually just made me a lioness. But at that particular time, I have never felt so weak in my life. Like, I needed someone to just say something to me that would just take the pain away, but nothing anyone would say or do, it was honestly going to take the pain that I was feeling away. Like, it was like a very dark time in my life, you guys. Like, it was horrible for me, So basically that whole night I went to bed. Malume Kazi did not call me. He didn't call. Even his aunt didn't call. So the only thing that I saw, because I still had login details, was, obviously the messages that he was still sending. More guy left, you guys, and he was still continuing with Banyana. When I tell you that, guys, I have seen it, okay? And then his sister also, like, she was kind of like talking to him as if he's like a victim of some sort. And I'm just sitting out here, I'm like, you people from this family are weird. But basically in the morning, you guys, like, I wake up. When I tell you guys that waking up was like a nightmare, and mind you guys, this is lockdown time, so I can't even be like, okay, let me at least lock the house and go to Venda, let me go to my aunt, let me go home, something. I couldn't do that because it's lockdown time, right? So basically, you guys, around maybe 11, if I'm not too mistaken, I receive a call. The call is actually coming from auntie, and auntie's like, my child, Mr. B and your malumekazi are actually here, so I want you to actually come here so that we can talk. Now when they said I should come, you guys, like I had to also go there with, like, you know, my ex's sister. She's like a sister in the like a family relative sister, right? So I drove past her place, picked her up, and then we went to auntie's place. When we got there, you guys, I feel like the first thing that basically happened was that the atmosphere was completely crazy. First of all, I know that they were talking about me, and the way that malumekazi looked at me, you guys, like she looked at me like, and I was like, girl, I've never done anything to you. Like what's going on, you know? Like I was honestly just so surprised, like why she was looking at me like that. And then Mr. B sitting there, you guys. Have you ever seen like a child that has been kidnapped and abused and finally like they're back into their mother's arms? So like, yeah, you know, that's sitting there like, yeah, you know. So I'm just walking in there, you guys. I'm like, number one, I know the type of family these people are, so I'm not really expecting much. But one thing I told myself was that I'm going to just keep my cool. I'm going to keep my cool. I want to hear exactly what is it that they're saying. Guys, like my heart is literally on fire, burning. I feel like my whole life is just crumbling around me at that point, right? So basically I sit on the couch, you guys. I sit next to like the sister-in-law, my sister, ex-sister-in-law, and then Rakadi sitting this side, Mr. B sitting this side, and malumekazi sitting that side. So, you know, obviously when I got there, Rakadi is like, yeah, you know, my child, they came here, they were talking to me, but you know, now I decided that no, I cannot talk or resolve things that involved two people with only one person. So I felt that you had to be here, right? And then Malumekazi is like, yeah, you know, Mr. B told me, or Owamie said that, yeah, nah, she does not want any family meetings. That's why I decided I'm not even going to call her or anything. Now, yes, I have told Mr. B that, nah, I'm not into the whole family meeting chende. I think you guys have also actually heard from me. And the reason for that is because, you guys, I woke up in a family where they would have family meetings for people at home and even for people outside. If I'm in a situation where I'm with my husband and we are failing to resolve issues, just him and I, like that marriage is over. Because even if they go, you guys, like I think it's also just because of what I have actually seen, like how, you know, it will be that thing where they will go into meetings, they come out, all we know now is just the private issues, and the thing, whatever the situation is not really resolved. And when it comes to these family meetings, people go under the belt, people expose things, and I'm just like, I'm not here for this, you guys. Like, I don't ever want this to be me. My husband and I should just be able to fix things by ourselves, and if we can't, it means something is horribly wrong, you understand? So I don't believe in family meetings, that's it, and stuff. I feel like sometimes some family members actually push their own agendas that you don't even know, you know. So basically, you know, obviously, but again, I didn't tell Malumekazi that, so I felt she could have easily, you know, like called me at least, like to find out, like he said this, is that your stand, is that what you said? But obviously she had already taken a side, and I knew that. Obviously at that point I knew. And so, you know, obviously we sit down there, we start talking, you know. So Rakhadi actually asked, like, okay, you know, Mr. B should go ahead and start, like, what's going on. This man, you guys, let me tell you, he does not open up by, you know, I'm cheating. She caught me twice already. I was actually talking to someone wanting to actually go sleep with them without even protection and stuff like that. And this is stuff that, you guys, like, y'all know, if I'm telling you something, I'm telling you the truth. If he refuses, I know that when it comes to IT, they still have backed up stuff, because that account of their Facebook, I actually permanently deleted it, but they can revive. If they revive that, like, they would find stuff that are just shocking, and that, like, what I'm telling you guys is the truth. So basically, you know, he's talking about how I have been mistreating him, how I make him wash plates, how I make him clean the house, how I don't make him feel like a man, you know, blah blah blah. When I tell you that this man started here, and then it just started going whoop whoop, like deeper and deeper and deeper. This boy was now even talking about our bedroom chende. Guys, when I tell you I was humiliated, like I was so embarrassed, like y'all have got no idea, okay? Like y'all have got no idea. So basically, you know, he's out there talking about how now I said that he does not satisfy me, and stuff like that, like insinuated that he does not. And let me tell you where that actually came from. That actually came from the fact that in January, I had actually sat down and suggested, hey, how about we introduce sex toys into our marriage? Like, as married people, can we not actually have private conversations? Like, I'm saying this now because everything was out there, like I was so glad my family members were not there. Imagine them sitting there having to hear them talk about Owamie now on sex toys. Carry a freaking freak. Guys, I was so embarrassed. There is no stone that this man left unturned. There is no secret that my family had that we left unspoken. As is there, you guys, like talking about this chende, he then goes ahead and says, yeah, even your money for your car, I'm gonna give you. The money that he's talking about for the car is talking about my first car that he gambled away. Okay. And then he says, yeah, even the money for Lobol. A big secret that we actually had as a family, that I had actually borrowed him the money for the lobola. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna pay you back. Hey, this and this. I'm hearing this man talking. Guys, honestly, if you may not know me, obviously you may only know me online, but people that know me around me, it's a very few people that will actually tell you they've actually seen my tears. I'm someone that, you guys, I will not cry in a space where I don't feel safe. Like, that's me as Owamie. When I'm on YouTube, I get emotional, I cry, whatever, and that's because I feel like it's a safe space for me. You know, I'm in my place, you know, and whenever I'm filming, I just imagine seeing ninjas, and I know ninjas love me. So you guys make it a very safe space for me. But in real life, like, trust and believe, it's a very few people that will ever tell you that they've actually seen my tears. Nisha, even with my mother's funeral, I never cried. Like, there's something about me having to cry in front of people that I just don't feel safe around. Like, I just don't do that, you know. But you guys, when I tell you, tears just couldn't stop falling, and I was not feeling safe at that point. Like, guys, 2020 almost broke me. Okay, that man almost broke me. I just started crying, you guys. I'm crying because I'm listening to all this crap this man is saying. I'm listening to this man just reveal our deepest secrets. And number one, I knew Malumekazi was not there for any good. So I knew for a fact that the moment we leave here, all my secrets are gonna be out. I knew Vele, his sister, my sister-in-law, ex-sister-in-law, she's also a man. So I just knew Vele, guys, that yeah, you know, this whole situation is just going to blow up. Everyone is going to just know this stuff. So obviously I tried to basically just also clear, like, but you know, I never said you don't satisfy me. But then again, I also said that I'm not going to get into our bedroom stuff. Like, why am I supposed to get into our bedroom stuff? So now I should also start saying that, oh yeah, but you know, there's this position that I've been wanting him to do but he doesn't, or you know, there's a position that I didn't want to do and then he forced me. Like, I feel like those are bedroom stuff and they should be secret between two people. But obviously, clearly I was married to a child, so my secrets were out there. So you know, and then after that I tried to like basically just clear out. There was a lot of stuff that this guy was saying, you guys, that were false. And also that just did not make sense. Like him claiming that I actually had him wash the dishes, had him clean, where else I actually employed a helper that would come Monday to Friday. So I'd ask myself, like, which days? The days he was talking about was when it was locked down and we could not have our helper come. So we had to help each other. Mind you guys, he was an educator, right? So he was not going to work, he was home, but I was still working, you know. I was still working full-time. Videos were still coming out. If you guys remember, I was even vlogging at that time before. And then also I had to cook, because you know, you couldn't go to restaurants. It was hard lockdown that time. Like, restaurants were also closed. There were only selected items that were being sold. So clearly you had to also pull your weight and also had to help. It was just the two of us. How many times are you going to clean in a week? It's only just the two of us, and we're not really going to mess up. So yes, if I'm cooking, when I'm cooking, he would have to also like help me with the plates, because I was also working. I feel like that's common sense, but you know, some people lack common sense. So when that was happening, you guys, when I tell you guys that I was just crying, I was just crying. My heart was just breaking and breaking and breaking. It just could not stop breaking. Like, my heart was just breaking. And I think that it was at that moment, that day, that, you know, I actually realized that this marriage is 1,000% over. This man is a child. You know, he lacks, like, I knew that, you know, his reasoning capacity is low. I knew that, but I didn't know it was lower than the ground. Like, I didn't know it was that low. Okay, I didn't think it was actually that low. So basically what happened was that, you know, after that, as I said, I don't see a point of family meetings. People just come with their own personal agendas, you know. And Malumeka's at that moment, she's there sitting like, yeah, you know, things like this, you know, should not happen. You know, he's your man. You should make him feel like a man. The fact that he cheated on me is not even being touched at this point. The wrong one is me. And when I was talking about, like, I asked her, I was like, so does that give him a right to actually cheat on me? Legit, this is no cap. Her answer to me was that, well, you know how men are. Most men will always be men. I was like, hey? Men will always be men. Even if it was a matter of like she was there, you guys trying to build, is she going to say that in front of him, so that even tomorrow when he goes to cheat, he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm a man, you know, men are men? I was like, oh, so you think he's going to cheat on me? Not me, Shibubu, okay? Not me, because guess what, Shibubu, he will cheat on the next person, because me, I live, but I love myself. If my peace of mind is not there, I'm like, boop, boop, boop. She is gone. Okay, I'm not sitting for that. So I was honestly just so disappointed. I won't lie. Like, I was also just disappointed the way that she was acting and everything. You could definitely see that. Like, you could see, man, that, you know, she was actually enjoying this. Like, she was really okay with this. And I think the other part that broke my heart was the fact that, you know, they were the ones that actually went to Venda to pay my lobola. So just to think that, you know, it was not even a matter of they didn't like me or she didn't like me. It was also just a matter of like she legit hated. Like, that was pure hate. Like, you can't do that to another person's child. I was honestly just so hurt, you guys. I remember when I was leaving, his sister actually like was like, yeah, you know, I'll go with you. So she left with me. I dropped her off, and then I remember on that drive going back, you guys, like, I was even saying to her that, you know what, I'm going to leave. I am going to rebuild my life. I am going to be okay. I even remember I told her, I was like, I'm going to buy an SUV. See, I said it that day. Guys, my heart was breaking. I was like, I'm going to finally buy my SUV, because, like, guys, I'm driving my dream car. That's why maybe people will never understand why I'm so proud of that car. I was supposed to drive that car like in 3 years. Like, it's not my dream car, but my dreams actually go with, like, I gauge with years and levels. Like, if you want to know my real dream car, my real dream car is actually a Range Rover Valet. I love that car, super crazy, right? But other than that, if I'm not driving that, it's honestly a Nissan X-Trail. Like, that was like always, like, you know, the goal. And so I remember saying it to her that I'm going to actually buy me that SUV and whatever. And mind you guys, like, I was super scared. I was so scared, you guys, because I didn't know what the future was going to bring or anything. So I go home, you guys, and I just cried. The pain was crazy. The pain was just honestly too much, like too much. Like it was honestly too much. At that point, like Rakadi does not call me, Malumekazi does not call, even her, you know, like no one. I'm getting zero support from this family at this point. I feel like maybe, you know, Rakadi had also heard some stuff. Maybe she thought, I don't know, I can't really say, but she's always been someone that was very extremely nice to me. But that's how she is. She's nice to everyone. But I won't lie and be like, oh, in that family there was anyone that was calling and checking up on me at that time. No one was. He was that side, you know, with his malume kazi. And so I said home, you guys. When I got home, I was like, Owamie, you can't do this. Like the way I loved that man. That's why, like, you know, sometimes people will be like, oh, she was just already checked out of that marriage. Y'all don't know what I actually really went through, okay? Like, just because the first time I spoke to you guys about the divorce, I was having smile. That was actually what, almost 8 months of me dealing with it, like, privately. Like, the pain was too much for me to bear. I couldn't, guys, like, I feel like people don't understand the fact that I was too codependent to my ex-husband, to a level that there was a time that when I was going to Venda, I legit had a panic attack because I was leaving him. I couldn't imagine life without that man. Like, I just honestly couldn't. And I was so used, like, I was just so used to having him, you know. So sleeping by myself was also a huge problem for the longest time, because I was always so used that I sleep on his chest and everything. So at that point, you guys, I just decided that after the meeting, let's say the meeting happened like today, tomorrow, at night, like I think it was around 6, I decided that I was going to call him and like just ask him for us to meet. So he went out from his malmegas without telling her, and then, you know, he came into the car. So I had already made a decision that, you know what, I'm going to actually use him to heal, and obviously, like, I'm going to let him go. At that point I was like, he was being very selfish by cheating, so I can also be selfish to heal myself, and then after that obviously do the things that needs to be done. So basically that's exactly what I did, you guys. And yeah, he ended up actually coming back home, and, you know, obviously the story goes, some of you actually know about it, like his malmegas was not happy about it, and everything. And then obviously, you know, time went. But that family meeting, you guys, it was definitely the family meeting of doom. It was the family meeting of horror. It was so embarrassing, you guys. It was so embarrassing. Like, I feel like there's certain parts that my mind has decided to block because of the embarrassment was too much. But it was humiliating. This man was talking like a tap, running water, everything. If there's any advice that I would actually go ahead and give you guys, is that if honestly, like, you are married and you guys are actually having problems, rather go see a therapist. Like, rather go see a therapist before you actually do this whole nonsense of family meeting. Guys, when I tell you it's nonsense, like, in my personal opinion, it is. You always have that auntie, that rakadi, that malumekazi, or that malume, or that babu mngani or babu mkulu, that just does not like you guys' union. And what they're basically going to do is that they're going to try and find you guys' weaknesses and use those weaknesses to play you guys against each other. And remember, just because people smile and laugh with you does not make them your friends or family. Many people smile with us, but they hate us deep down. So I think that, you know, actually just paying a therapist and going for counseling, marriage counseling, the both of you actually say, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. This is a stranger that does not know you guys, that is not going to be biased, and this is someone that has also studied human behavior and also people and how we actually think. And I think that they would definitely help better than some malumekazi that is going to come and tell you the nonsense of yeah, you know, that's men, that's how men are, as if you should go ahead and just accept that this man is now cheating on you and he's now wanting to go out there and cheat on you without even protection. All this, you know, diseases, this sexually transmitted diseases. On top of that, he's broke. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It just does not make sense to me. And that's why I'm actually saying that I think that seeing a therapist, honestly, you guys, is the best bet. If you are and your husband or you and your wife are going through a tough time, do not even route to the family, okay? Like, that whole family meeting, I've never seen it work. I personally have never seen it work. I'm sure maybe it has worked for other people around me, myself included. It never worked for us. So, you know, that's the advice that I definitely give. Now, obviously, you know, the whole of Free State, that area, everyone now knew that, you know, I actually borrowed him the Bola money. And when I hear the story, you know, his mother actually went around saying that I basically forced him. It's like I forced him. I took the money and I was like, here's the money, go and marry me, you know. Meanwhile, the whole time, he was the one that was pushing for the marriage. I only came in because I did not want him to do many trips to Venda because of it was going to be very expensive. It was like 5,000 each trip. And so I was like, okay, we can actually save money, because mind you guys, I was actually building with this man. And would I advise? Absolutely not. If your man is going to pay lobola, do not assist him with a cent. Let him sogola to actually marry you, because some of us, you guys, lost a lot of money throughout the divorce, even lost the car, the land, and whatever. And this man didn't even really pay me my lobola. I basically lobolaed myself. It's quite sad, and it's something that other people would be very ashamed to say. Personally, for me, I just feel like us keeping quiet about things like this, it does not serve any justice, because Oksalayo, it happened. Whether if it's known by the public, whether if it's private, Oksalayo, it actually did happen. And so, you know, people that side actually knew that, or still think and believe that I basically, you know, forced this man and even gave him money to say, go lobola me, and that's not what happened. But if there's one thing I can go ahead and tell you guys, is that at this particular moment, you is in shambles. I won't even lie. Karma is not going to play with you. You're not going to just play with a good woman and God is going to look at you and still smile. Is you dumb, or is you stupid, or is you dumb? Like, choose one. You know, it's not going to happen like that. So yeah, the things that I've actually heard are quite shocking and quite sad. You know, it's quite sad. I'm sure maybe one day I'll share with you guys, but it's honestly just quite sad. But anyway, ninjas, that's basically what happened. The meeting was Mugo was there just crying, you guys, and it was the first and only time they actually ever saw me cry. Like, I was so crushed, you guys. 2020 was wow. If you are someone that is also going through a lot of pain and heartache, trust and believe it actually does pass. It passes. Time heals all wounds. I never thought that I would actually be sitting here and talking about this with a smile and not like, you know, having to catch my breath or even anything, you guys. Like, you heal, you know, you heal and you get to a point where you're actually legit happy again. And I'm really happy that I've finally reached this stage, because wow, umuntu went through a lot. Anyway, just go ahead and comment down below if you guys have ever had any similarities of, you know, of the stuff that I've gone through, and how has family meetings helped you guys. Let's help each other. Maybe I'm just being biased because it has never worked for the people I know. It never worked for me. How has family you know, meetings went whenever you are having problems with your husband, for them to actually help solve? And if you're someone that has actually gone through marriage counseling and also done the family meeting, can you please give us perspectives, like the differences, the things that you basically saw? I think that would actually be very important. And when it's just from me, I'm in the I love you guys so much. Do not forget to thumbs up this video and obviously share. Please also make sure that you subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. We definitely want to reach 10k. Please, let's get there. And so yeah, ninjas, I love you, and I'll see you guys my next upload. Bye.